So Maharani, this morning, prepare many gifts for the children. And the children are expecting this morning that they will be getting something. All the kids. The khilauna, the toys are waiting for them. And they have a tremendous expectation. Here Lord Krishna says, regardless who you are, regardless of your age, he says that you are a khilauna in my hand, a piece of toy. I can play with you. I can do whatever I want to do with you. And when you come to me, when you surrender to me, you become a child and you are begging me for gifts. Here the Lord is saying, he says, the gift that I will give you, I'm going to free you completely from all worldly negative matters. That's the first thing I will do for you. I will cleanse your buddhi. The Lord says, I will cleanse your buddhi tattva, which means all negative matters, I will take it away from you. Then he says, the second thing I will do for you, I will remove those negative qualities that are deeply rooted in your heart, which is malice, hatred, false pride, greed towards anyone, and the worst of all, your ahamkar, your ego. Bhagavan Krishna says, he said, I will destroy these highway robbers. They are 5 in numbers. And I want you to give it to me as a gift, and I will return it back to you now. You know what I will do for you? I will crown your heart like a kamal pool and full of fragrance. And in that heart, I will come and take a permanent seat. He went on to say, I, abiding in the hearts of my devotees, I destroy their darkness, born of ignorance. Now he went on to say, when I promote wisdom and knowledge for you, he says, the fruits, karmanye vadikadasti. He said, you do action, you do your duty, and leave the fruit for me. You don't have no right to ask for anything. Do not ask me for anything. I know your needs, I know your wants, I know your desire, and I shall grant you 2 things. In the name, Mamekam Sharanam Braja Aham Tama Sarva Papebhyo Mokshi Yamima Suchi Om Har Har Mahadeva Shiva Shambho Girijapati Gangadhar Har Namastute Murali Manohar Ghanasham Baba Hare Kanhaiya Baba Om Manmana Madhabhat Bhakto. Here Bhagavan Krishna says, now that I cleanse you, now that I give you a rich intellect, now that I am all with you, he says now to we his devotees, he said, oh my children, manmana, merge your mind with me. Bhagavan Krishna is saying, he says that in my ocean of bliss, be constantly devoted to me. He said, my nadia, my ocean is flowing only with bliss. Anandam, anandam, anandam. And that bliss is to revitalize, reorganize, and reestablish you. You know what bliss does for you? You know what Shakti do for you? Today in American language, they say Guru, Guru, Shakti, Shakti, Karma, Karma. They are telling the whole world now, they use the word so frequently that they are abusing the words now. When they use the word Guru, Guru, Karma, Karma, Shakti, Shakti. We knew this from the very dawn of creation. Who is Guru, what is Karma, what is Shakti. Don't teach us about these things. We know about it. But here Bhagavan Krishna is saying, he said, my Anandam, my Shakti my Anandam and my Shakti, when I give it to you, I transform your life. There is a transformation. He said, do not become religious. I do not need religious people in my heaven. The Lord says, He said, do not come as a religious person to me. There is no room for you in Vaikuntha Lok. He said, you must be spiritual. The whole world is religious, but very few spiritual people walk on planet Earth. When you are spiritual, you give everything to God. You give your mind, your body, your soul, your bhakti, your shraddha, your upalakshan, your bhav, your vidhi, everything you give to God. Then Bhagavan says, I cannot resist you. I have to give you anandam. I have to give you bliss. This is why the Lord says, He said, when you consecrate all your actions to me, it becomes prasadam. I eat it. I eat your prasadam, which is your action. Every action you do to me, every time you serve me, every time you love me, I multiply your happiness. You start to rise. You start to achieve tremendously because you're serving me. You're loving me. But He said, when you love me, you must love me with humility. Today it's very difficult for someone to put their hands together and go down on their knees and bow to God. They prefer to stand up or hold their hands together and look at God and said, why do I have to do that? Yonuni Murti. But the Lord says, when you show me humility, when you put your hands together, you're putting your 10 senses together. Das Indriya. And you take the Rat, the Ayodhya Puri, the Vaikunt Puri, and you are giving me. And within that Puri, you have all the ingredients I need. You have a beautiful mind, a beautiful heart, a beautiful hands, a beautiful feet. You have all the arteries, all the vital organs. The Lord says, I want those things I give to. I create it. I'm the creator. I create everything you have. So why don't you give me as an offering, as prasadam? I need that prasadam. He says, with your humility comes simplicity. And with your simplicity, it merges with modesty. Humility gives simplicity, a simple person. And simplicity makes you very modest. When you combine the three together, you have dedication, you have renunciation, and you have devotion, the 3 Ds. And when you awaken those 3 Ds, then the Lord says, He says that from your cradle to the grave, I am following you constantly. I am the sun and the sunlight, sunshine. You can never be departed from me. He says, every move you make in your life, I'm with you. He said, my grace not only stay with you in one birth, but in subsequent birth. Sarva dharma parityaji, O restless mind, sarva dharma parityaji. Now the mind is taken away from us. Now we have a chance to love God more this morning and every morning. I'm taking you on a journey. And the next sloka tells us now, sarva dharma parityaji, O restless mind, relinquish everything to sarva dharma. Do you know how great it is to say, God, everything I give to you. I go to work this morning, you're taking me to work. I sit with my superior, they are telling me what to do, but you are working through them. I earn my handsome salary when the month or when the week is up, I bring it to you first. I bought a kapra to cover my nakedness, I give it to you. I cook the food in the morning, I feed you first. Sarva dharma. This is what it means. It means everything you do in life, you must give it to Bhagavan Krishna first. You must not cheat the Lord of what He has given to you. Embracing virtue and taking refuge at the lotus feet of God, Lord Krishna create a kingdom of peace and love for every one of us. We all supposed to be very happy people. I said it a night ago. No Hindu, man, woman, and child should ever have a sad face. Look at the gods. They all have a very, very smiling face. They want you and I to be very happy, regardless of what is happening in your life. Regardless what is happening in your life at this very moment, appointed hour. If you really have faith and devotion in God, He will take extra care with you. Only so much He will give to you in the name of suffering and pain. But He is looking at your behavior and He wants to help you. God is a fountain of eternal happiness and peace, brothers and sisters. The message this morning is that with deep affection from the very amorous heart, I use the word amorous heart, that God has created for all of us, take that heart and give it to God. Take that heart and give it to God. And when the Lord is ready to give you back, Sudama, for example. Sudama, very poor, great need, great want. His dharam patni, his wife, says, this morning we do not have anything to eat. And she went gully, gully, gav, gav. Every home she went to, they shut their doors on her. And those were the sad people. When his wife was walking, they were ringing the bell, blowing the song, and singing the praise of God. And when they saw she was coming, they locked their doors. Very hypocritical. She stood up and she cried. One old lady came out, and the grains that she was about to throw in the garbage, the broken grains, she gave to the wife of Sudama. She tore her sari, tattered garments, and she wrapped it very nicely. She was not collecting those grains for herself and children. She said to her husband, this morning, I have a mission for you. And the mission is, when you are in school, classroom, you had a friend. And that friend of yours, when we had good days, happy days, the food I cooked, you took it and give it to him. He steal it from you. Ma kanchor. Everything he steal from you and ate all your food. And you smile because he's your friend. Such is friendship. In the realm of true friendship, it becomes a gem. Today, we are in poverty and sadness. So these grains I collected, I parched these grains. I wrapped it in my tattered garments. I give it to you, and I want you to commence your journey and go to his home and beg him to give us a little happiness. Tora, tora, little. Sudama was afraid to say no, but he commenced his journey. He took him days. He sat under trees and he cried bitterly. He said, what am I going to say to my friend? He's a Raja. He's a king. He went and he stood up by the door. The guards were standing and they refused to honor him, look at him, because of his condition, his physical condition. They do not entertain beggars there. Anyhow, he begged and he mentioned the name of his friend. He said, his name is Krishna. The Lord, from a distance, heard the cry of his wonderful friend, and he came to the door to rescue him. The Lord came with tears in his eyes and stood up and said, oh, my dearest friend, I'm so delighted to see you today. My heart is filled with joy. Come, come, embrace Sudama. Took Sudama into his palace he told Satyabhama and Rukmani, he said, take Sudama and put him to sit on my throne. He said, bring a container of water. He washed the feet of Sudama. He took those drops and he said to Satyabhama and Rukmani, every corner of this palace, sprinkle the water. Pavitra my palace. Then he said, give him beautiful garments now. Do his arti. Offer him flowers. And before he fed Sudama, he asked Sudama, my friend, you remember our good days? What have you brought for me today? Sudama was very embarrassed. He could not speak. He became speechless. Behind his back, he held on to those few grains. The piece of cloth was tattered and is split into two. And the grains fell on the ground and scattered all over. Murali Manohar Ganasham. Look at the compassion and mercy of God, the love for God, the love that God has for his children. He went on his bended knees and picked up those grains and ate those grains. He said, it came from my friend home, and he used the word Bhabhi, has sent it for me. He said, it is so delicious, the delicacy. He said, it's so sweet. I'm enjoying it, Sudama. And Sudama is crying. All came to an end. And the Lord said, Sudama, I know you have a family and you have to go. Do you need for me to provide transportation for you, a chariot to take you back? He said, no, my friend, I will go on my own. But do you know, brothers and sisters, in spite of all that went on and the affection and togetherness that took place between Sudama and Krishna, Sudama did not ask for anything. He was afraid. He said, how can I do it? And he left the kingdom empty-handed. Now he is afraid to return home. And Sudama sat under the tree and he is crying. He composed a song for Bhagavan Krishna. As he was crying, he sang this beautiful song for the Lord. He said, Lord, I did not ask you for anything. But if you are merciful and if you are grateful to me, Krishna Krishna Manamohana Chitta Chora Radha Jivana. You steal my heart, God. You steal my heart. I don't have a heart anymore. I'm empty. I'm going back home empty. Hey Chitta Chor, hey Nanda Gopal, oh darling of Yashoda, Nanda Maharaj, what have you done to me? You made me speechless when I came to you. I couldn't say a word to you. Today, I want you to dance in front of me and just give me a glimpse of your beautiful manifestation. Chitta Chora Radha Jivana, 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 Chitta Chora Radha Jivana. Radha Kanta Yadu Nandana, Radha Kanta Yadu Nandana, Radha Kanta Yadu Nandana, Radha Kanta Yadu Nandana, Chitta Chora Radha Jivana, Chitta Chora Radha Jivana, Chitta Chora Radha Jivana. My dear sisters and brothers, when Sudama cry bitterly to the Lord, he felt a hand touching him, but he couldn't see anything. He was just a mile away from home, 1 mile away from home, and it took him hours to reach there. He go forward, he went backward. He go forward, he went backward. Ultimately and finally, he was about to reach his destination. But to his surprise, amazement, his eyes deceived him. When Sudama stood up and he looked around, there was no more jhopri. The jhopri became mahal. The little hut became a beautiful palace. He saw his wife and couldn't recognize her. She was beautifully dressed. He saw his children and they were all decorated. And they were standing and she had a thali in her hands, lit it, waiting for the arrival of her husband. He stood up and he cried. And the first word that came out from her mouth, "Oh, my husband, this is what your friend has given to us. I know you went and you begged him, and he has fulfilled your heart's desire. Oh, my husband, what a great husband you are." She said, "Today you are my Swami, and I bow to you." Sudama smiled, and he replied, said, "I did not ask for anything. He investigated my mind, he purified my heart, and he granted me and my family fulfillment." What a great Lord he is. This Sanskrit slok conclude my katha. Patram pushpam palam thoyam. Are patram pushpam phalam thoyam. Yo me bhaktya pranachyati. Are patram pushpam phalam toyam. I am prepared to participate and I am prepared to accept your hospitality, O my children. Patram pushpam phalam toyam. He says, bring to me patra, your body must be the leaves. Bring to me pushpam, not the flowers you pluck from the tree that will wither in the evening. Bring unto me your heart as the most beautiful flower. And jalam is not the water you dip from the Ganga or from the ocean or from the river. The Lord says, allow your tears as the jalam to wash my feet. When you sit in my company, O my children, the leaves I'm asking for, the flowers I'm asking for, the jalam I'm asking for, you possess those ingredients and preserve it for me and give it to me. He said, O son of Kunti, O Arjuna, whatever is given to thee for consuming, now, whatever is given to thee for consuming austerity and practice, he says, perform it in japa, in tapa, in dhyan, and in bhakti for me. This is what the slok is saying. He said, in your japam, you must see me. In your kirtanam, when you sing a bhajan, you sing it for God, you must see God in front of you. You must see Ram, Krishna, Shiva, Durga standing in front of you, and you are having a dialogue with God through kirtanam. When you do japam, you must be able to bring God from heaven into your life. When you do Shiva, it means that every act you perform, you must see God in every individual. When you can see me in everything and everything in me, he said, you become one with me. When you do dhan and dhyanam, which means when you give, you must not expect to receive. If you are going to give to the world, you must give wholeheartedly and sincerely. If you go back tomorrow and say, what I give to you must multiply it and give it back to me, then you should not have given it. The Lord says, you must always be a charitable and a loving and a simple person. He says that life is an adventure and you must go through that adventure. He said also life is a song that's full of melody, and that melody must charm you. It must be the mohani. Mohani means it must charm you because it's like a music full of swara, full of sangeet. And he said, my basuri, when I blow my basuri, even the cows run after me. The ant run after me. He said, the trees began to sway, tossing to and fro. He said, the wind keep blowing, not only human entity. He said, all, the vegetable kingdom, the animal kingdom, love to hear the melody of my basuri. He said, in a similar capacity, when you sing for me, I will play for you. This is the beauty. When we sing for God, you will hear a little tune coming into your ears. It is the basuri of Bhagavan Krishna. In the Bible, those of us who study comparative religion, there is a beautiful verse, but I have translated it where Lord Krishna has said the same words that is merged into Christianity, Islam, Buddhism. This Lord, who is ancient, who is very ancient, who is from the beginning of creation, has mentioned this word. Ask me, and it shall be given unto you. Ask me. Come unto me, O my children. Surrender to me. Merge with me. All the Sanskrit sloka recite. Merge with me. Surrender to me. Become one with me. When you ask me, then seek me, and you will find me. Where you will find me? Tell me. Where you will find God? God will be in your heart. When he said, ask me, it means that open your mouth, repeat my name, sing my glory. You're asking me. When you seek me, I come into your heart. He said, knock at my door. Come as a beggar. When you come to me, come with a jhori. Come with a jhori and stand at my darbar, stand at my anghan, and you must beg me. I want you to become a mendicant when you come to me. Don't come as a raja. If you come as a king, what am I going to give you? Come as a beggar. The Lord said, knock at my door. I never sleep. I'm fully awake. I will hear that knock. Then I shall open my kingdom. My kingdom for you to enter. I will not only come at the door and fill your jhori. I will open my door, pull you inside, and allow you to see my beautiful mansion. In my kingdom, he says, everything is beautiful, everything is auspicious, and I can fill not only your jhori, in many, many birds, I can give you in abundance whatever you want. For he who seek me lovingly, aggressively, and devotionally, Lord Krishna tells us in the Bhagavad Gita, he says, such a devotee will never perish. Surdas, Kabir Das, put it in this beautiful doha. If we are homeless and helpless, and if we are defenseless, as we are about to leave, Lord Krishna says, I'll become your strength, I'll become your shelter, and I'll become the staff for you to hold in your hands. But I need from you this one virtue, that you can keep me there forever. Are daya dharma sab kohi kahe. Daya dharma